Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the Speaker of the House, the Honorable Alan Peter Cayetano, to address the body.
Ladies and gentlemen, members of the plenary, members of the 18th Congress, the address of the Honorable Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano.
Romans 12:12, anuman ang ating religion, anuman ang ating paniniwala, bilang isang pamilya lahat ng Pilipino. Tama po ang sinasabi ng verse na to. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, and faithful in prayer. So unang-una po, ipagpatuloy natin ang ating prayers para sa isa't isa, ang prayers para sa ating leadership, sa ating Pangulo, sa Supreme Court, sa Senado, Kongreso, governors, mayors, hanggang po sa mga barangay. Let's, in prayer as we join each other, let us also as leaders be able to give hope. Yung hope po, nagsisimula sa maliliit na bagay yan po. Opo, hindi natin pwedeng kamayan ng isa't isa. Hindi po natin pwedeng yakapin ang isa't isa sa mga panahon na ito. We cannot even gather as a whole congregation to kneel down or bow down and pray together. No? But that shouldn't stop us from worshiping. That shouldn't stop us from caring about each other. That shouldn't stop us from giving hope. Yung Bayanihan 1 po, nag-meeting sa Malacanang ng March 21, March 22, 23, pinagpuyatan po natin yan at pinasa kaagad. Marami pong pinangako sa atin. And February pa lang po ay nag-warn na ang Kongreso na padating ang COVID. Pero to be fair to everyone, when we warned of this in February, no one knew about the overwhelming magnitude of the problem. Alam natin may parating na problema, pero hindi talaga natin alam, di ba? Alam na alam po to ng ating head committee natin that takes care of calamities and disaster preparedness, si Lucy Torres Gomez. Alam na alam po to ni Majority Leader Martin Romualdez. Alam po to ng mga taga Samar, Leyte at iba pang mga lugar na tinamaan ng Yolanda. Alam natin may padating na bagyo, pero hindi natin alam kung gaano kalakas at yung destructive power ng bagyong yon. So, I don't want to be a genius in hindsight and say na we could have done this and that sa Bayanihan 1. We acted on the exigencies. We passed Bayanihan, We Heal as One with the expectation and the agreement that it will be implemented very well. There are problems in implementation that are understandable, but there are problems in implementation that are inexcusable. I support Senator Bongo's statement in the Senate, and I'd like to echo it here. Katulad po sa health workers natin, what reason on earth can we give them to say na hindi tuloy na-release ang benefits o yung konting ayuda o tulong doon sa frontliners na nagkasakit ng COVID dahil sa pagseserbisyo sa bayan? Lalo po doon sa mga namatayan. Problema na nga na hindi ka makalabas sa bahay, problema that you cannot even comfort or be with the loved ones, no? And I know many of you members of Congress are nodding your head because also that there are some regions very, very bad ang experience natin sa DSWD. Nung walang COVID, grabe ang coordination. Nung nagkaroon ng COVID, nawala ang coordination. We were promised that in 10 days, madidistribute lahat ng ayuda. But what happened? Natapos ang distribution ng April sa May. Nilift ang ECQ, naging malabo kung paano yung second wave. Pero nung una, sinabi, kaya 200 billion ang kailangan, 100 billion sa April, 100 billion sa May. Sinabi sa atin, lahat ay bibigyan. Ang question lang, sino, ano, at magkano. So 18 million Filipinos, poor and near poor, will be given the 5,000 to 8,000. but 6.4 to 6.6 million Filipinos who are in the middle and upper classes will be given a different form of stimulus or ibang uri ng ayuda. That is why nung una, napakalinaw sa guidelines ng IATF at even ng DSWD, bibigyan ng form ang bawat Pilipino para ma-assess natin. Pag nakuha mo yung form, pag nakita ng DSWD, eto hindi to pang SAP, pero eto dapat bigyan ng SSS. Eto, OWA dapat ang magbigay dito. Eto, dapat DOLE ang magbigay dito. Eto, kasama sa order ng presidente to na sweldohan pa, dapat may sweldo to. But somehow, instead of listening to the experienced members of Congress, governors and mayors, DSWD leadership listen to their regional directors na marami ay walang experience sa ganitong magnitude na problema at distribution. But, who of us naman ang meron experience sa ganitong problema? So what happened po, no? Alam po natin na ang mistakes in procedure is like a lie. Once you tell the truth, madaling continue to testify kasi panay truth, panay truth. But once that you tell a lie, you have to keep covering it up. So the original sin of not coming up with a better list and not even filling up the form spiraled into many problems that instead na mabigay ng 10 days at house to house, dumating sa punto na may mga barangay na ayaw nila house to house dahil dinuduraan sila, binabatukan, tinutulak, because bago nila bigyan yung isang bahay, lalampasan nila yung 2-3 bahay. And natural po, sa mga kondisyon na to, nagutom at galit ang mga tao. So I go back to the President's consistency. Those of us who knew the President before he became President, simple lang po sinasabi niya, huwag paintay ng tao, ibigay ang tamang serbisyo. Ganon din naman po ngayon eh. Nung naging presidente siya at wala pang COVID, di ba, sabi niya, huwag pong tatagal ang papeles sa mesa ng public official. Walang corruption dapat. So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, mga kababayan, dear members of Congress, we can talk about DOLE and the OFWs. We can talk about DSWD, yung SAP, or the way, my wife was telling me, Congresswoman Lani was telling me yesterday, 3 buwan bago pwede mong bigyan ng ekstrang ayuda under the AIX guidelines yung mga may sakit para mas maraming papagbigyan. 3 buwan na hindi na binigyan yung mga may dialysis. Kasi hanggang ngayon naman, hindi lahat ng sessions ng dialysis ay covered ng PhilHealth. Although napakarami ng sessions ang covered ng PhilHealth, it's much better than before. But still, kulang pa rin. And ngayon na nagka-COVID, ngayon na pinakakailangan ng mga nagpapadialysis, isasagot daw ng office ng regional director is, ma'am, hanggang 2,000 lang. But bago nagka-COVID, may 10,000. Pero may pera naman. And if I ask every one of you to speak today, whether party list or district members of Congress, meron kayong storya about things like this. Hindi na to umaabot sa mesa ng presidente. So, tama po yung sinabi ni Senator Bongo, mga assistant secretary, mga USEC, tulungan yung secretary nyo. At kayong mga regional director po, sa mga those who took the extra mile, those po who, really showed their leadership during this time, lubusan ang aming pagpapasalamat sa inyo. At mas marami kayo. Pero doon naman po sa inyo, nadadagdagan nyo pa ng bureaucracia, sasabihin nyo, hindi pwedeng kunin yung goods kapag hindi nyo track, ayaw nyong palitan yung supplier nyo na hindi naman makapag-deliver, di ba? We don't need all of this during this time of crisis. We need to work together. So to the different departments, let it make it clear. We are your allies. We are allies with this administration. We will work with you. But let me also make it clear. Do not confuse our kindness with weakness. We will be kind because in times of crisis, nakukuha lahat sa pag-uusap sa tamang communication. Pero kung sasabihin nyo sa amin, masyado naman kasi kayong parokyal o kaya, sir, iniintindi namin buong bayan, hindi namin naintindi si Jose o si Maria. Sino ba yung buong bayan? Yung bang kumatok sa amin na kailangan maglakad mula sa Manila hanggang Bicol? Yung po bang mga construction workers na naiwan dito sa Metro Manila na hindi makauwi at wala na rin pagkain? Yung pong mga farmers na nagugutom na rin, hindi ba sila kasama sa lipunan? At pag kami tumawag at kami nakipag-usap sa inyo, sasabihin nyo, inaasikaso nyo lahat. Lahat means everyone, no? So again, let me make it clear. We are allies and we will continue to work with this administration. Marami po kaming kinahangaan ng mga sekretary. Hindi po lahat ng problema masusolusyonan kaagad, di ba? Transportation is an example. Yes, I join the millions in saying let's come up with a creative solution. But I do also understand that nung ngang walang crisis hindi pwedeng nasisira yung LRT, MRT at mahaba ang linya. Ngayon pa kaya kung sasabihin mo kalahati o 1/3 lang ang pwedeng sumakay, di ba? But there is a limit to the time that we can give excuses. So whether we talk about testing and contact tracing, or we talk about mga OFWs na hindi makauwi, or we talk about health workers na walang PPEs, o kung may PPEs ngayon, kung na-infect pa rin ay walang ayuda galing sa gobyerno para tulungan sila mag-recover, o pamilya man lang nila makareceive ng konti. Or if it is the daily complaints, no, with the agencies that deal with individuals in crisis, no. Nagkaroon kami ng dozens, I think baka umabot pa ng 100 na Zoom hearings, lahat ng committee and led by Martin Romualdez, yung DCC, no? 15 congressman nag-take ng time para pag-usapan ang problema sa Calabarzon or sa Region 4A. Pero yung regional director ni walang oras, regional director ng DSWD, na humarap din at makipag-usap sa mga problema, no? So, you know, it is actions like this that causes problems to all of us. So, going into Bayanihan 2, we commit to the Filipino people and to the President, we will be supportive. But we will follow the President's lead. We will demand accountability. So we will be asking the departments, we will be talking to them, we will be having an accounting, di ba? Emergency nung March 23, so wala nang panahon para pag-usapan lahat. Pero ngayon po, we know better. For example po, we know that there is a statistic that there is 24.6 million Filipinos, 18 million Filipinos poor, near poor, 6.4 or 6.6 million middle and upper class. Pero nung nag-distribute tayo, nakita natin lahat ng klaseng problema. So if you ask me, kung magkakaroon ng second wave and God forbid, or kung magkakaroon ng ECQ ulit sa ibang lugar at may ayuda, per person na ang gawin natin para walang problema. Para walang bahay na lalampasan at walang bahay na nagsasabing, 10 kami dito, ibibigay mo, pareho lang nung katabi namin at 2 lang. No? So, that's an example of learning from our mistakes. No one could have foreseen it on March 23 nung sa Bayanihan na 1. Kasi wala naman calamity of this magnitude sa buong mundo, at least during our lifetime. But going forward, how can we give people hope about the new normal kung tayo mismo hindi nag-create ng mga opportunities at programa to showing them that the new normal is a better normal. On a personal note po, kagabi with many members of Congress, nakiramay po tayo sa Villanueva family, kiramay po tayo sa mga taga-Bukawe, and in our conversation with Brother Eddie and Senator Joel and Deputy Speaker Brother Eddie, kitang-kita po natin yung pain at kitang-kita po at kahit na hindi sa words, no, yung just conversing with them, just looking at them, parang ang gusto nilang sabihin, para saan to lahat na to? Diba? Para saan? I mean, when you lose a loved one, suddenly everything comes into perspective. yung rat race or what we call usual life is, di ba? Ano tong mga to? But I was reminded on my way back home from Bulacan that it's true, no, that any one of us will feel the same way when we lose someone we love. But ano ba pakiramdam ngayon ng mga may COVID-19? Ano ba pakiramdam ngayon ng mga pamilya ng OFW na 2 buwan hindi naman nakakauwi yung loved one nila? Ano pakiramdam ngayon ng isang waiter or isang naggugupit ng buhok sa salon o isang masahista sa isang wellness area o isang nagmamanicure? Pag sinabi mong don't worry, may stimulus. Pero baka 6 months o 1 year wala ka naman trabaho. Hindi mo ba isipin what is this for? And while I am sure that the Lord God will give comfort and strength to Brother Senator Joel and to Bishop Eddie, I think gagamitin ng Panginoon ang mga mamamayan ng Bukawi at ang mga kababayan natin to inspire the two leaders to continue to serve. And yung OFWs natin na hindi makauwi, they're inspired by their family. Yung mga waiter na naghihintay pa rin na magbukas yung mga restaurant, yung pong mga manicurista na naghihintay na ang customers nila, kahit na sa bahay lang, ay gusto pa rin mag-ayos ng kanilang sarili. They find strength in looking at their family and telling themselves, we have to have hope that we will have a job so we can provide from them. So ang trabaho natin sa Kongreso, ayusin yung new normal, yung new economy, no? And we've done that. Chairman Joey Salceda, Chairperson Sharon Garin, Congresswoman Stella Kimbo, and all of you, no, who worked hard on the stimulus bill. Deputy Speaker El Reyes, who worked hard on the cures and is working on the Balik Probinsya. Hindi ko man-name kayong lahat, no? Kong Eric Yap, who's been coordinating with all the departments, is in working on how we will have a better 2021 budget. Lahat po kayo na committee chair, Kong Helen ng Health, Congresswoman Janet Garin, di ba? Lahat po kayo na nagtulong-tulong sa ibang aspeto. All of this matters. But we have to set the tone correctly. We have to be proactive. We have to be able to adapt, innovate, and manage.